Next up on WTV, Staff Development, this week's edition of My Life As, and today's Sports Minute. WTV's Daily Update starts now. Hey there, Red Hawk Nation. Today is Wednesday, August 19th, and I'm Cooper Ragle with today's Daily Update brought to you by Wingspan TV. With the first 3 weeks of school being online, multiple staff development days have been moved to the fall. WTV's Audric Dixit has the details.
Frisco ISD postponed the reopening of in-person school by 3 weeks due to COVID-19 concerns. So instead of students being on campus, all students started the year by attending school virtually. To help give them more time to prepare for the start of the year and teaching virtually, the Board of Trustees recently voted to move 3 staff development days from later in the year to the beginning of the year.
Looking at starting off with virtual learning, we've been spending a lot of time with our teachers the last few days on getting them really good at working with technology and working with online platforms so that our students can get together and collaborate. One of the things that we found last year when we jumped into e-learning is a lot of our teachers were kind of thrown into it and were really taking on a lot that they've never experienced before. So in these first few weeks when we're starting virtually, we've moved our staff development days to the fall. That gives us Fridays where our teachers can work together to review what they tried during the week, what worked, what didn't work, and make adjustments so that as the year goes, we're much better prepared for virtual learning.
The staff development days, originally set for October 9th, February 12th, and April 26th, have been moved to August 21st, this Friday, August 28th, which is next Friday, and September 4th, the Friday of Labor Day weekend. That means the next 2 weekends are 3-day weekends for students, and Labor Day weekends is now a 4-day weekend for students. Reporting for WTV, I'm Audric Dixit.
This week on My Life As, WTV takes a look into the life of new teacher Julia Code.
My name is Miss Code and I am a first-year teacher. I think this would probably be the craziest and maybe the hardest year to start teaching. However, I am grateful for this challenge because I think that this unique experience will push me to be a better teacher in ways that would not be possible otherwise. I am teaching Algebra 2 and Pre-AP Geometry this year. So in Algebra 2, we started going over parent function equations and their graphs, and then we're also going to start getting into identifying domain and range as well. In Pre-AP Geometry, we just introduced some new vocabulary terms, and we went over how to geometrically notate those terms, meaning how we represent the terms using symbols. I think that the hardest part of virtual teaching for me has been the technical difficulties. As some of my students have experienced with me, I've had to come up with some plan Bs and even resort to plan C a time or two on the spot.
WTV's TJ Krylowitz gives you a look into volleyball on today's Sports Minute.
The last couple months have been a difficult situation for coaches trying to figure out the safest and most effective way of playing sports amidst the coronavirus outbreak.
Obviously a lot more stuff with sanitizing. We're having to wipe down the volleyballs after every practice. And like during the summer when we had multiple sessions coming in, we had to do it in between each session. We've got to check the girls in every day and take their temperature. And now they're wearing face masks when they're not actively on the court participating. We're encouraging them to use the hand sanitizer every chance they get, and of course social distancing.
This year, Red Hawk Volleyball is changing the way they usually take on training, taking into account the various safety precautions and regulations that coaches have to keep in mind while facilitating practices.
Biggest problem with it is, I guess, the social distancing, just keeping them to spread out because, we're social creatures, and then a lot of them haven't been together much in the summer, so they're wanting to, what used to be the norm of being, close to one another and talking and having communications that way. We're having to retrain ourselves and just our normal behavior to stay 6 feet apart when talking. So that's probably been the biggest challenge.
The volleyball team hopes to have a good season, irrespective of the current difficulties, and plans to push through with a positive mindset.
We try to encourage, the girls to be good teammates first and foremost, and just encourage each other and try to be positive and upbeat. And us as coaches, we're trying to be positive and excited and just have good positive attitudes. And I feel like if a majority of us can have that attitude that'll be contagious and we'll all be that way. But we hadn't had any trouble at all with that so far. The girls have really been working hard and they're very talented. We've got a lot of returning lettermen coming back from last year's very successful season. So we've been playing against each other for several weeks now. We're ready to play somebody else in a few weeks, so I do think we're going to have a good season.
Reporting for WTV, this is TJ Kurlowitz.
If you're looking for more from Wingspan, you can follow us at Liberty Wingspan on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or visit our award-winning website, libertywingspan.com. And now for today's announcements. For any announcements, have your club sponsor email libertywingspanstaff@gmail.com. That's it for today's daily update. I'm Cooper Ragle for Wingspan TV.